In 57 years since Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech in Washington, and today thousands descended on the nation's capital to call for racial and economic equality, as well as police reform. Tim Johns reports on how those calls are also being felt here locally in Kern County.
Thousands of people descended on the nation's capital Friday calling for change, following in the footsteps of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. almost 6 decades earlier.
57 years ago, we had the most impactful speech that changed the civil rights movement forever.
That speech was King's famous I Have a Dream address back in 1963.
A lot of people believe that it was to end segregation. It was not. It was for economic justice.
Today, as a part of their march on Washington, people were out in the streets again calling for economic and racial equality, as well as for police reform, a topic that's gripped the nation this year following the death of George Floyd and several other African Americans at the hands of law enforcement.
When we talk about the police reform, I'm for police officers. I believe we need them. When people are talking about defunding, they're changing the narrative. They're not saying defund the police. They're saying reallocate some of those funds so that the officers can get back to policing, community policing, which is where we're supposed to be.
The calls for change can also be felt here in Kern County. In recent weeks, Waller has met with the heads of local law enforcement to help form citizen advisory boards, something that will be a first for our community.
Inject yourself. Be unapologetic. Be strong. Be brave. It is time for a change, but we must do it together because the work is so vast.
Now she's encouraging others to get involved too and to be the change they want to see.
We've always pushed through adversity, and I find a little window of hope, and I give that to my community, and I hope that hope will fuel a revolution like never before.
In Bakersfield, I'm Tim Johns reporting.
Is there a story you think we should investigate? Call our Eyewitness News tip line at 869-2929.